And how that breaks down is in these images. The black dots are carbon, the red molecules are chlorine, and then the green molecules here are hydrogen. As the microbes eat up the contaminants, the red chlorine, you can see how it's like this is replaced by hydrogen right there. It's replaced by hydrogen there, and then eventually through this process, it's called reduction. So basically, you're reducing this chemical over here into a non-toxic byproduct, basically ethane. And but how do we know that this actually works? How do we, what happens here? How do we know that this is actually working? So based on the analytical data, we had ethane and ethane were measured at high concentrations, indicating that the complete cleanup was happening. So it wasn't getting hung up on the vinyl chloride. So the third phase consists of groundwater and soil gas monitoring, which is planned for 2 years. So as you can see, there's building 99 right there. That's where we did the excavations here and here. And the red dotted line over here, and here is the extent of soil gas exceeding the cleanup levels before the remedial action. This is in 2016, this picture right here. And then 2 orange here, I showed you, is the excavation areas. And then these blue areas right here, there's one there, one here. These are blue dotted lines. This is where we injected all those 182 points. Yeah, so basically, after we backfilled these areas, we injected in these locations. And the injections were, how we did the injections, this is pretty important because we injected from the outside first, from the outside circle inwards, so in concentric circles, to make sure nothing goes, none of this contaminant material escapes from those areas. So we had to make sure that that was done, and that's exactly what we did. And so the groundwater and soil gas monitoring that we did, on the left-hand side here, you can see the groundwater monitoring equipment. And then on the right-hand side here is the soil gas sampling equipment. And this was done actually in March. The first round. This is the first round of sampling. So the performance monitoring for the groundwater samples, this was in March of 2017 right there. Is building 99 right here, and these are the excavations that we did here, and then the injection points around these blue circles. So the groundwater results, as you can see from the results, the wells up gradient and down gradient. So up gradient over here and down gradient down here. Those wells, the treatment were below, the results were below the groundwater remedial goals. And this verifies that what I was trying to tell you earlier on, that we went in concentric circles. This proves that none of this contamination that we had inside these areas went out, because these samples here are all below remedial goals. And these results also show that the plant future land use area is not affected. Everything is above that area. So these are not affected by contamination.
So your takeaway after the first round, if you could go back there, is just, so some things are in red. We still have some exceedances right after the first round. Obviously, so you put in this iron compound, you put in these nutrients, and the nutrients now take time, more than the iron compound that's already worked, in pulling down the contaminant levels. And you've seen some great reduction in most areas. It's going to take some time in some other areas, as you would expect. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah, this is just the first sample that we took.
Yeah.
And then I'll show you some of the dramatic results that we got in some of the other locations. For example, this one here, you can see in 2016, in March 2016, we had dry cleaning fluid, 2,400 micrograms per liter. And then after the treatment, the groundwater treatment, you can see how it came down right there. And then the same with TC, the trichloroethane, 2016, it was 2,220, and then this was the result that we got in 2017. And as dry cleaning fluid breaks down, you're going to get daughter products, which are, one is dichloroethane, and then DCE and vinyl chloride.
Yeah.
And you would expect vinyl chloride to sometimes increase.
Yeah.
And that's what we saw in a couple of areas. And then because dry cleaning fluids are breaking down, and they're breaking down completely, because ethane and ethane, as I said earlier on, these gases we had actually measured. We had through the lab, and they had increased quite a bit, which is a great sign actually, that we're actually in that other plant, we're going through the whole process, and we're ending up with ethane and ethane. Overall, the results are very promising for this first round, the first sampling round, which was first performed just 5 weeks ago, 5 weeks before we took the samples. So these are the results for the soil gas results here for the first quarterly samples. And as you can see from the results, the wells outside the remedial action, the wells out here have been below the soil gas action levels. As shown, the action levels are right here in this yellow box, right there. And then the results verify that the planned future residential area is not impacted by any of the soil gas plume. So that's a really good sign right there, even in the first sampling event. The wells within the treatment areas, we still had exceedances. As you can see, there's one here. We had 21,000 micrograms right there. So we're going to keep an eye on that very well. And there's also another exceedance inside this area right here. So this 21,000 here is still present at elevated concentration due to the remaining. There's still remaining triclinium fluid contamination present in the groundwater. So basically, you're going to have some vaporizing of that happening. But the groundwater is being treated. We're going to treat that, and once that goes down, once the treatment is fully happening, then we'll get these figures going down for sure. And you will see that in the next round.